in life, only frosted together. Folks interviewing on TV's best. That podcast on fire. Nothing less, nothing second best. Welcome to the True and New Show. Where wisdom and speak alive. Don't you know? Tune in, buckle up, it's a wild ride. True and New Podcast, the talent's guide.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the True and New Podcast. Oh my gosh, so much stuff going on in this ballroom. He's back, so
It's Tuesday. Why am I here on a Tuesday?
It's gonna be one of those, episodes where like, well, yeah, he's back. Whoop de freaking do. But
You mean a good episode?
maybe.
I've seen them without me.
Maybe. Yeah,
I apologize to our audience.
They're great episodes when you're not here.
They're
trust me.
crap.
Yeah, and of course we got Quez in the bag. What's up, Quez?
What up, Quez?
We're taking care of all the great comments on there. But before we get started, first things first, we want to send our condolences to the Larry Allen family.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Dallas Cowboy lineman
Yes.
passed away, I believe, age 52.
52.
So our hearts and
Terrible.
condolences go to you guys.
Absolutely.
And we hope just try to get through. I mean, too young. I mean, very young.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a shock to them as anytime anything like that happens. But thoughts and prayers out to them.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers out to you guys.
But on happier news,
on a lighter note, a way lighter note. Congratulations to the Wesco Lady Panthers.
Wesco Lady
State
Panthers
champions, bro.
pulled it out.
Dude,
Miracle.
it cannot be more of a storybook. Bottom of the seventh, one out, bases loaded, full count, pitch comes right down the middle, bam, gone, out of the ballpark. Beautiful. Congratulations, ladies.
Congratulations
Well
to
done, man.
the hero of the game.
No kidding now. The hero.
What was
Is
her?
it Ortiz?
Ortiz?
Ortiz, I believe her name was Ortiz. Oh my gosh, you're going to be famous. They're going to make movies about you.
They're going to name a street after you here in Westlaco somewhere.
Probably
Probably on Old 83.
Hopefully, yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
Okay. Don't
somewhere
worry
around
about
there.
it.
Don't worry about it. It's going towards
Don't
down.
worry. It's going towards down. Don't worry about it. They're all going to know your name.
Yeah.
But guys, today on the podcast, oh my gosh, guys. If you guys tuned in for today, man, we got a great guest. First time ever having anybody in our podcast that is literally Hollywood royalty. To me, Hollywood royalty. It is Hollywood royalty. It is, bro. It's Hollywood royalty from the RGV. Ladies and gentlemen,
Just get to it already.
I know, right? I'm scared. I'm like, turn it on. Ladies and gentlemen, Valente Rodriguez in the podcast.
Let me put on my sunglasses.
Oh,
órale.
Royalty card.
Let me zoom it in right there. Ahí está. Mira nomás, no, hombre. First of all,
Welcome.
Welcome
Thank you.
to the podcast,
Thank you so much for being here, man.
Thank you.
First of all, surreal to have you in our studio, first of all.
I'm so used to seeing you in the TV screen. I'm sorry.
I mean, we did meet up last year in September at the
the film festival. Yeah,
which was
yeah.
all big shout out to them, man. Great. Great event. Every been over 10 years, I believe.
Yeah.
Coming up this year, if I'm not
Another one
mistaken.
coming up this year, yeah.
Yeah,
September.
and I mean, it's just amazing how much entertainment they bring down. Not only that, a lot of well-known actors, directors, writers,
Yeah.
stunt women.
Yeah.
And not only that, they come down and give a lot of advice to the young entrepreneurs that are trying to get into the
And
business.
it's totally for free.
Exactly.
Completely for free. So if you guys are
Exactly.
interested in wanting to be in the industry and you don't know what, come
Yeah.
by there. Come by there and drop into a seminar, drop into, a lot of different classes.
Yes.
We had one dude that was putting a piece of
Was it blue?
glass in somebody's eye, the makeup artist.
Yes,
and
yes.
editors, like you're saying, sound people, the stunt people. So
Yeah.
if you're interested, come by because it's totally free. Come by, walk around, see what you learn.
Get into some trouble.
Trouble, guy.
I
Steal
don't
a pen. I'm
think-
going.
Steal a pen. Look what I got. And you'll be saying,
I got it.
No, man, I appreciate you coming. First of all, coming to the podcast
Thank
once
you.
again,
Thank you for
man.
having me here.
Man, I don't know where to start. I mean, let's start from the beginning. I know you told you the last time we had you on the show there, you started where you come up, where your upcomings are from. Let's start from the beginning, where you're from and how we got to Hollywood, baby. That's what I wanted to do. Yes, go ahead. It's all you.
Texas, man. Elsa, Texas. But I was born to a family of migrant farm workers. And at about 3 months old, we went Pal Norte. We would go to Florida and Texas always. And then in the winter months, we'd go further north, Michigan, but all over the place. Michigan, North Dakota, South Dakota, Oklahoma, California, Oregon, Washington, por donde quiera, man. So at about 15 was the last time we did that. Mom got a job working at the cafeteria in Ed Couch at one of the schools. And so we were able to stay. Then we would only go during the summer. But living that life, actually working in the fields, which most of the people my age have done at one time or another. Maybe they didn't do it as hardcore as I did, but most of my generation has worked in the fields or knows somebody that's worked in the fields, right?
Right.
Really, really hard work.
Right.
And that's where I figured out that, ¿sabes qué? I don't want to do this the rest of my life, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this the rest of my life. And so I started concentrating on education.
Oh, okay, all right.
And people are always asking me, do you always know you want to be an actor? I said, no. The first thing I knew I didn't want to be was really, really poor the way we were. That's what I knew I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be poor, man. Porque teníamos outhouse, no teníamos telephone, todo el jale, ¿verdad?
Right.
And so I started doing good in school, and I thought I wanted to be a lawyer because I'm thinking I need to make money, ¿verdad? And in my head, it was doctor or lawyer.
Right.
And so I thought maybe I'll be a lawyer. And for whatever reason, I had a little bit of brain, ¿verdad? And a little bit of luck. I had some really amazing teachers, really, really amazing teachers that are certainly responsible for a big part of my success. But when I got to college, the first class I took was a theater class. It was a summer class where they were doing 4 shows in 5 weeks, so it was really, really intensive. And right after I took that class, I went, ¿sabes qué? I don't need to be a lawyer. I just need a college diploma.
Okay.
So that when I graduate, I'll be able to get a real job, not be in the fields anymore.
Exactly.
So that was the plan. That was just the whole plan right there. I'm going to graduate with a theater degree. Maybe I'll teach somewhere. Maybe I'll work backstage. I don't know yet, but I'm still building. But first and foremost, I need to get that diploma, that college degree. And when I graduated, I thought, well, if I'm going to maybe teach it someday, because I really thought I was going to be a drama teacher, somewhere in the Rio Grande Valley. I should go out and see what it's like. That way I can come back and tell them, look, this is what the book says, but this is what I experienced.
Pretty much test the waters.
Exactly. Yeah. Have some practical experience.
Exactly.
I went out there and it went well. It went really, really well. I got 4 jobs real quick. None of them were acting, but I knew I needed to pay bills.
Right, exactly.
So I was working as a courier, I was working as a carpenter, I was working at a video store, and I was working as a telemarketer. I was selling gold. It was the worst job in the whole in forever, brother. The only good thing was when at 6:00, when the boss left, we had a long distance phone line, Cardal.
Vámonos.
So we'd call the whole family.
Vámonos.
All night long. No, hombre. I gotta go to my mom. So we'll see later. But como 4 months into that, in December, I walked into an agent's office. Again, one of my professors down here had written me a letter of introduction. He had one friend he'd gone to Texas Tech with. She was an agent. She said, if you're not a member of the union, I can't represent you. But come on in. Let's talk for 5 minutes. See what you got.
Right.
And so I talked with her a little bit. And I had an old VHS tape of stuff I'd done in college.
Okay.
And when I was leaving, I said, Terry, do me a favor. I have a tape right here, and I see you have a tape player. I'm going to leave this with you. It's only 5 minutes. Do me a favor. Look at it, and if I suck, just tell me right now. Put an end to it right now. If I'm terrible, tell me, brother, you're terrible. You need to go be a carpenter.
Right.
And she laughed a little bit. Monday?
Keep building houses.
And she laughed a little bit, and then the next morning she gave me a call. She goes, I'm not going to sign you, but I'm going to send you out on a couple of things. See how you do. Represent you temporarily. And the first thing she sent me out on was a movie called Salsa, the motion picture.
Yeah, we talked about that last time. Yes.
Really good soundtrack. The movie, but the soundtrack, man. Tito Puente, Celia Cruz. No, we got some really good people on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And then that was my first job. And I ended up working 8 weeks on that movie. And so I made some really good feria. I put that in the bank. Then I quit my job. I started looking for theater, some theater to be part of because I had a really strong theater background.
Mm-hmm.
And I found one, the theater center, the Latino Lab at the Los Angeles Theater Center.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from there it was just building. I got a play, and then I did The first TV thing I did was a Golden Girls. That's how long ago it was.
Wow.
Okay. I was the air conditioning repairman.
Vámonos, yeah, there you go.
There you go. I look like I'm 17 years old. I'm carrying a little box. I was already like, I don't know, I was 25, 20, about 25. But that's how it started. How it started. And I did a lot of theater work at the beginning. I was still doing TV every now and then, and a couple of movies. And then the in 93, 92, I got cast in Blood In, Blood Out. Yeah.
Wow, man.
Classic. Cast in Blood In, Blood Out.
One of the most classic movies.
Yeah.
Any Latino, man.
And it just started coming out on, they just put it on a streaming service.
Right.
Because before that, you couldn't get it. You couldn't find it anywhere.
And the funny thing, you say that last night, my wife and I we were going through our Roku.
Right.
And we saw Blood In, Blood Out on Broadway.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? I go, please don't turn this into a West Side Story thing. Please don't. Please.
Let's risk our life. Let's risk our life.
He's just a little chavalo running with the big boys. Oh my God.
Show me some choncho. Give me some choncho.
Is it just me or does that sound awesome?
You're giving away all the ideas.
You heard it first here at Twitter Podcast.
Where's Lin-Manuel Miranda? Where did he get his ass on?
Oh my gosh.
But that was a trip, man, because none of us knew. Well, I didn't. The person who had the most experience of all of the Pato Locos was Jesse Borrego. Because he'd already been on Fame, and he was already famous, really.
Right.
The rest of us were just starting out, but there are a lot of people in that movie. Billy Bob Thornton's in that movie. In the prison.
Yeah.
It's the Benjamin Bratt who went on.
Exactly, man.
Raymond Cruz, he's Tuco.
Yeah.
You know, and he went from that movie to Clear and Present Danger, then he did Aliens 4, then he did The Rock, then he did Under Siege, then just movie after movie after movie. A lot of people did a lot of work after that movie.
Oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy that you bring that up with the Blood In, Blood Out, because that was like one of the most, like I say, it was an epic film, man. I mean, there's so many. Everybody knows the catchphrases. The whole thing. I mean,
everybody, you know, who saw it when we were in school.
Yeah.
We saw it.
Right.
I mean, but
everybody, Big Daddy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give show Ernie something blast from the past. Look at that. Right there. And then I got this one over here.
Míralo.
Something I'm gonna want you to write your stuff on there too, man.
Brother, Jesse's performance in that movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing, Carnal. It is amazing. It's really his movie, brother. Because he's the one that's got the journey. He goes from being a beautiful artist, then he hurts his back, then he gets addicted, then he's a marijuana, a heroin addict, and then his little cousin dies, and he gets, you know, his family pushes him away. By the end, he's gone through this crazy journey, and he's kind of found some peace. He kind of figured it out. And that last scene with him dancing with Ben Bratt in the LA River, that is beautiful, man.
I know a lot of people were asking me. Yeah, look at that.
We got a message from Crystal Morin.
Órale,
Ernie with a heart emoji.
There you go.
Crystal. Everybody loves Ernie, man.
Yeah.
Ernie's a big ladies man.
Ernie is the best friend everybody has, bro.
That's right.
If you didn't have an Ernie Ernie, you were the Ernie.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, man.
Pero if you paid attention during that show, Ernie kissed all the girls, carnal.
Yeah.
Ernie kissed Sandra Bullock, brother.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, man.
Yeah.
So we
That's
want
right.
details, Mr.
You gotta search through all the episodes. And
We're gonna go frame by frame.
My favorite friend. Oh, no, that was
it was a quick one. It was a quick one.
No, but I mean, it would have been weird if George was like the one kissing everybody.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah,
true.
no, it would have been good.
Yeah, that
It was
would've been-
good.
Oh, yeah, something.
George and I almost kissed también.
Oh, man.
It was one time that he swallowed the worm.
Well, there you go. Best friends are best friends.
That's right.
That's a next level
Yeah,
friend right there.
Dicen, I got your back, no, hombre. Pues, just be careful.
So after doing the blood in, blood out, I mean, what was next? What was over the horizon? How did you end up going into?
I was still in the middle of trying to figure out if I wanted to stay with the theater stuff, and I moved away from that and moved more through to television and movies, and I started doing a lot. I started being very successful. I went from movie to movie, and then more TV, and then I was in Aaron Brockovich as well, and then I was in Mi Familia as well, and doing really, really well. And then in 2001. In December of 2001, I got the call for the George Lopez Show.
There you go.
And it was, the very first call, though, was just to the casting director. And they sent me a script. And I read the script, and I was really excited because I'd never seen a script like that. There hadn't been a show like that, for Latinos anyway.
Right.
And then I looked at this character of Ernie, and I went, oh, I can do that, man. I can do that character. I know that character. And so I went in, she liked it, called me back. I went in again, and then again, and again. I went in 7 times. And then at the end, it was just me and this other guy. And I went into a room, probably maybe twice as big as this room.
Oh, my gosh.
But there were maybe 150 people in it. It was packed. It was packed.
Wow.
And I got on stage, so ready. By then, I'd done it 7 times. I was, ready. And there's a reader somewhere in the first row that's going to be reading the other lines.
Right.
So you find that guy. You ready? Yes, I'm ready. All right. I turned around like that, and when I turned back to the audience, they laughed. I hadn't said anything, and they laughed because I had this stupid look on my face.
This guy got
No, Ernie turned around all of a sudden. And they kept laughing, and I'm like, well, this is weird, but let's go. Let's go.
Go with it.
I guess they don't know who I am yet. Let's go. And then finished it, right? I'm driving home, and it's feeling really good, man. It's feeling really, really good. And my agent calls on the way home. Said, hey, what's up? So I said, those are days of the flip phone.
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
Para la antena.
See?
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Antenna's always fucking breaking. Damn it. Yo tenía un pinche coat hanger ahí. I had to put it out the window to the reception.
I think that.
And it's my agent. And she goes, how'd it go? And I said, it went really well. It was surprising. It went really well. I'm hoping it's going to go well. And she goes, well, yeah, it did. You already got the job.
Wow.
They already called.
Wow, that's awesome.
Before I got home, they'd already called.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Man. That is awesome.
And we got booked for 4 shows. Usually there's 1 pilot.
Right,
But
yeah.
we had a special thing going on where we had 4. And then we did that. That was 2002. The end of 2001, and it came on the air in 2002. And then
Right.
we kept going. We did 6 years, 120 shows.
Yeah.
Shoot, man, that's
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It was an awesome show.
It is
It's
crazy.
a great, great
And
show.
it was an awesome time, man. We had so many really good people on it. And sitcom is amazing because you carry a lot of writers. You carry, 8, 10, 12 writers. And once you're into it for a year or 2, the writers already know you. They know what you do well. And so they're writing specifically for you,
Right. Right,
And then
exactly.
if it doesn't work, they'll rewrite it, And it's a really short week, and you don't work on the weekends, and every 4th week you get off.
Vámonos.
Yeah, you get the whole week off.
Wow.
It's like
Oh, Rico again.
yeah, it's the easiest job in the world. If you can do it, it's the easiest job in the world.
Right.
The pressure comes in when the audience gets in.
Right.
Because we used to do a live show.
Yeah.
And
Into
so we
the
have
audience.
150, 200 people in the audience. and the cameras are all like this. They're watching over the top of the cameras.
Right.
You do the scene. If it works, great. But if it doesn't work, then everybody comes in to like a huddle. They figure out what you're going to do. Then they bring the actors in. They go, okay, everybody ready? All right. Cut this line. Don't come in on that line. You don't. They give you like, I don't know, 5 minutes worth of notes.
Right.
Everybody got it? Okay, here we go. Roll camera. Quiet on the set. That's when the talent comes in, because you have to have the confidence to go, yeah, I can do it.
Exactly.
I'm fast enough.
Right.
Yes, I know it. I know what to do. I'm not going to mess up. Or even if I do mess up, we'll work our way out of there, to have that confidence.
Exactly.
And that's where I think the big bucks come in, because not everybody can do that. Not everybody can do that. It's a tough one.
You had a question?
No, I was just going to ask him. He pretty much answered it. Like, what's it like having that interaction with the audience right there? You know?
It's really cool because
Yeah.
Single camera, like dramas and stuff like that, they're shooting out in the world. You got no audience,
Right.
and it's
Right.
one camera, and you got to do it 4 or 5 times to get all the angles.
Yeah, right.
This one, we had 4 cameras across the front, and we would do it once or twice, and everybody would be covered. And then you got George and Belita, who's just amazing. Belita played the mom.
Right.
And then Constance, who's gorgeous and really talented as well. And then the 2 kids who were extremely talented. And then you got George, who's always cracking up, you know, and you're trying hard not to laugh because he's so funny.
Right.
You know, it was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful time. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, for now, that's been the best project I've been a part of.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. That's good. I know we
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
couple of comments.
Rick Phoenix says, "What's up, brothers?"
Okay, we
What's
got
up,
Rick
Rick?
Phoenix out there.
on
Luis
there?
Cervizo says, "Good evening, friends." Christian Morin says, "Him coming out and the new guy was the best."
Oh,
There you go.
That new guy, they killed Paco. That was beautiful. They flew me to Austin for that one, and it was like storming, and I was in my hotel room, like on the 20th floor, and there was lightning. And I was like, God damn it, sacaron el mundo.
I just got this part. So, I
No,
mean,
hombre.
as far as like movies, I mean, I know being in Texas, that's my border. You know,
There you go,
that's El Valle. This is El Valle right there, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. Somebody put a beer right in front of me.
Hey,
I don't
no,
know.
man, we'll take it. We'll take it.
You just tripped in front of
You
him.
just put it for a little bit. There you go. You go.
Very
Just
nice.
put it right there next to you, so
I'll keep it
it
up.
won't run away.
No.
So doing, I mean, living here in the RGV, I've noticed you come and visit a lot, you know, and not, I'm not going to put anybody in the spot, but not many, you know, actors or talents that made it out really come back and, you know, come back home and bring stuff with them so we can see. What I saw at the convention, you helped out a lot of people. Your workshops were amazing. So much information for these young, upcoming people that are trying to get into the entertainment business. I mean, when you see these young eyes looking you with full attention, I mean, what are the feelings going through you? You know,
It's beautiful,
trying to-
man. I'm really, really proud, actually. I'm really, really proud because when I was growing up, and one of the reasons I do it is because when I was growing up, that didn't happen. No, that didn't exist, right? And this was back in 1987. And so I didn't have anybody to turn to ask what's it like or do you have any advice or any of that kind of stuff.
Right.
And then the other thing is that it's an industry where if you really want, and all of life is like this. If you're doing something, you want to be really, really good at it, you got to really, really put your time in. Really put your time in, right? But in this particular industry, it might not happen. No matter how hard you work, it might not happen. So it has to be something that really has to be in your heart. You really, really have to want to do it. And I want to prepare these kids for that. The second reason is that without the help that I got from all those people that were in the Rio Grande Valley, those teachers I was telling you about, my parents and my own family, I wouldn't have been able to do what I did. I would not have been without all that support. Because when I got to Pan Am, I still needed to take diction and enunciation and speaking classes. Porque todavía I was talking like this, right? Which is fine, right? But that only means you can play that one character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you want to move forward and you want to make it your career, you want to work 20, 30, 40 years at it, you need to understand how to do that.
Right.
And there's a method, there is a way. And that's why there's acting class and directing class and writing class,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. And so to pay all of those people back, because seriously, my life changed 160 degrees, man, 180 degrees. I was going this way, and before I knew it, I was going that way because of the teachers, because of the mentors that I had.
Right.
And that path that they put me on, it turned out really, really good.
Yeah.
Really,
Yes,
really
it
well.
did.
I've
It
been
did.
blessed.
Really well.
But I wouldn't have been able to, if I'd have dreamed it, I wouldn't have dreamed this. I never thought I'd be there.
Right.
My first thought was, I just want to make a living as an actor. You know, I just want to work enough to be able to pay my bills and that sort of stuff. And so that's another reason I come back. And then the third reason is, like in 2010, we did a film. We did a couple of films. We shot in Elsa and Far and Raymondville, all over the valley, actually. And I had a crew that was 90% from the Rio Grande Valley, 90% of the people from Pan Am. Well, not then, it was UTRGV, I think. And then after I finished that, a year and a half later, about 5 to 10 of those people had moved to LA. One of them started working on Westworld. Another one went to Jane the Virgin. Another one, and that sort of stuff. When I'm thinking, if I had a little bit of thing to do with that, that makes me really proud.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're working film and television, you're working advertising.
Right.
And what you do is you sell Pepsi, you sell Clorox, you sell beer, all that advertising in between the shows, that's what you're selling.
Right.
And so if at the end of the day, you're going to look at your life and say, what kind of significant contribution am I making other than just being a celebrity and, getting free meals when people see me at McDonald's?
Right.
What is it that I can truly point to in my life and go, I'm proud of that. I helped those people out.
Yeah.
And so that brings me a ton of energy,
That's awesome.
And then the people down here, I got all my family down here. So I visit every time I come down here, I'll go visit them. And then the fajitas, of course, we don't have them over there.
That's what I was going to ask you. But comments came in. Crystal Morin says, Pan Am, so OG, I love it. Linda Castro says, hola, boys. Let me ask you, I got a question for you. Since you've been out there, Hollywood.
What's up?
So what's better, Valley tacos or Los Angeles tacos?
Los Angeles doesn't have tacos, carnal.
You heard it here first.
Los Angeles has cold tortillas. And they got everybody I meet, I'm telling them, mira, what's in every single taco? What's the one thing that's in every single taco? The tortilla. You gotta put something in the tortilla, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you don't pay attention to the tortilla, and I'm a foodie, carnal, now you're in my ballpark right here. Yeah, we got you right now.
Yeah, got you.
If your tortilla's cold, forget it. You already lost. You already lost.
Exactly.
If you try to make a taco and the tortilla breaks, dude, come on now.
That's wrong.
No.
And I got another question going to
Noah Selena says Tex-Mex or authentic Mexican food.
Well,
there you go.
what would you consider the fajitas? Is fajitas Tex-Mex or is that authentic?
That's a good question.
That's a good
When you're
question.
talking
That's a good question.
authentic, now what authentic? Porque I love mole, right?
Right.
Mole from Oaxaca, right? That's Mexican.
Yeah.
But there's also green mole, and in New Mexico they put green chili or red chili all over the stuff, right? So different regions have different stuff. If it's good, I'm gonna eat it. If it's good, there's one kind of food, just one food that I hate,
Okay, here we go.
and it's only
There you go.
a certain way it's prepared.
Don't.
Spinach.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll let it go.
But I like raw spinach. I
Yes.
like it in my salad.
On my salad. Yeah, exactly.
But you cook it?
No.
Dang, you got a point there. I got mind blown right now.
I smell it, and I want to throw up.
When we were kids.
In fucking kindergarten, and they cook it all day long. I mean, the whole PG school smell like PG spinach.
Well, I was introduced to spinach because of Popeye, but it's as you can see, it did not work.
As you can see,
On my face.
it was BS.
No,
Some
speech
BS.
is the only thing. Everything
Noah
else.
Salinas asked, does he like Q tacos for breakfast?
You know what? Are the Q tacos the ones they sell at Stripes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, then yes. 2010, that was my routine. I'd get up at 5 in the morning because I was in Edinburgh. We were shooting in Elsa.
Right.
I'd get up at 5 in the morning. I'd come down, I guess, 107, ¿verdad?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a Stripe. Just as you come out of Edinburgh, I'd stop there and I'd buy 100 breakfast tacos. And that's what we'd feed the crew in the morning.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And right here, you got another comment from, who's this? Linda?
Linda, hey, it's Taco Tuesday.
That says today.
Christina
That's today.
Perez says it's taco science.
Yes, it is taco science. It is taco science. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, food down here. I mean, I've been up north before, and I've tasted the foods.
Mm-hmm.
And what they say, oh, Mexican restaurant. We go to a Mexican restaurant. It's like, no,
No, it's different.
no.
It's
Sorry.
different. The beans are different.
Yeah.
Yes,
everything
Most of
is
the time in LA, if you're talking beans, you're talking black beans.
Right.
Yeah,
Right?
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So very few places do I know that they will sell refried beans, you know, the pinto beans that have been refried.
Right.
Y luego también, they use a lot of sour cream. They put a lot of sour cream on stuff.
Right. The Taco Bell method.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
This ain't a baked potato.
Hey, you know what I've noticed? I went with a friend at a taqueria in Far, and I had never seen anybody put papa in their taco.
What?
Like
Not a breakfast
baked
taco.
potato. No, not breakfast. I'm not
Right.
saying lunch taco,
Okay.
dinner. I've never seen that.
Oh, like
Never
a
have I
baked
seen
potato
that.
style?
No más
Yeah.
potato and la
No,
tortilla.
like you know how they put all the like a loaded potato.
Oh, like a loaded
and then they
potato.
just scoop it and they put it on the taco, which already has beefsteak and all that stuff.
Right.
Oh,
I've never seen that.
that's
evolution.
That's
That's-
called, no, sir. That's called
evolution.
the step to overkill getting a heart attack.
That's a Mexican right there.
Well, you know,
That is a stepping
you know one of
stone.
the things I do miss? You guys ever had the Frito pies?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the football games where they just cut the Frito bag
Yep.
and they
Yep.
put the chili on the top?
Yeah,
No,
that's
right.
hombre, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, man. My mama makes a hell of a Frito pie. Bro.
Yeah, she does.
She makes the taco meat, the ground beef, the taco meat flavoring on top. Once that's done, she gets the Frito, she throws the taco meat, and she sprinkles it with a little bit
I mean,
of
it's
love.
good. It is good as you can see.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mama, you know what I want?
Crystal Morin.
Make it for me
said
tomorrow.
Crystal Morin says that sounds like cardiac arrest.
Yeah, correct.
Shut up, Crystal.
You don't know nothing.
You know nothing, Crystal.
Let me live my
That's why we
life.
go walking every night. Don't be jealous, Crystal. You know, being jealous is a very ugly thing. Don't be jealous.
Crystal sounds like a Mexican. You gotta get shit done sometimes.
That's right.
So, I mean, you've done coming down here, bringing all that talent down, bringing all this information. I know you told me a story about, I would believe it was a young lady that you had spoke to. She had just graduated, I think, from Pan American at the time. Well, I'll let you talk. I want to tell you the whole story. You know the story. You were telling me about that, that she came up to you. It was thanks to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, and that's a you know, you think you're going to make you hope you're going to make a difference in somebody's life, but you're thinking it's going to be in a direct conversation with somebody.
Right.
And in this particular case, it happened to be both, because one of the things that ends up happening is, for example, I'm going to add to that story. There was a young man who came up to me not too long ago, and he said, my mom was sick, and she was going through some kidney problems. My mom was sick. She was going through some kidney problems. And we thought it was going to be really, really serious. And so for a whole month, she had to go through this whole routine. She was in the hospital. And then at the end of the month, they were going to do the surgery. And every night at a particular time, they would come and they'd turn on the George Lopez Show.
There you go.
And watch it. Right?
All right.
And then he said, you know, the George Lopez Show got us through those, made us bond, gave us laughter, and made that time a lot shorter, right? And so that story, and then stories like this young woman who said, I saw you speak, and I had misgivings about doing what it is that I wanted to do.
Right.
And I heard you say, at the end of the day, you want to get to a place where you've made really strong decisions, really important choices, but they were your choices. And so you need to empower yourself so that when you get to that place, you make the right choice and you make a very, very strong choice. And then the last thing that I had said to her, because I say this to everything, the same thing I said earlier is, doesn't matter where you're from, doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, doesn't matter your color eyes, doesn't matter all of that. None of that matters. What matters is how dedicated you are to what it is that you're going to do. How dedicated you are to that and how kind you are to the world. Because whatever energy you put out there, you're getting that energy back.
Right.
It's going to come right back at you,
Yes,
right?
sir.
If you want a tough life, well, then put tough energy out there. You know, if you put kind energy out there, you'll feel that coming back. And that young woman actually made me cry because I started thinking about, without even knowing it, you're part of an industry that can change people's lives without you ever coming in contact with them, ever at all. And that's the power of television. There are houses around us that no tienen air conditioning and are broke down and they don't have a lot of income, but they have 3 or 4 TVs in their house.
Yep.
You know, and so we need to see ourselves, our Latino selves, on that little box so that validates us. We need to tell our stories, and we need to tell the stories because the other doesn't know us. They don't know our stories. They think they do, but they don't. We need to tell those stories. And it's up to our creatives, our people who write music, people who do paintings, people who do novels, people who make movies, people who do TV, to tell that story, right? And the more we nurture these people, the better it's going to be for all of us in the end. And I just hope that I can keep making those kinds of differences in people's lives over and over and over and over.
That's great.
You know, as long as movies and shows like George Lopez and Blood In, Blood Out are out there where you can see yourself and you can relate so strongly to the characters, I think you will, because it's like you said, you never know what's going on in someone's life, but you don't. You just did it, you know, to do the show.
Right.
You never anticipated
Not at all.
that you were going to be a part of so many people's lives.
And in '87, to emphasize the point that you're saying, in '83, I got to Pan Am, and the film guy there, Dr. Jack Stanley, goes, "You got to watch this movie. You got to watch this movie." And it was, you ever guys have seen the movie Zoot Suit?
Zoot Suit.
I've heard of it.
If you haven't, you got to watch it.
I've heard of it.
Right.
So up until then, I would watch TV, and the beaver would come downstairs and go, "Hey, Mom, I'm hungry." And the mom would go, "Well, why don't you have yourself a bowl of cereal, beef?" Right? And they would do that kind of stuff. Okay, so in this movie, the kid comes down and says, "Amá, tengo hambre. Échate un taco, mijo." That was the very first time I saw that on TV, on a screen. I'm like, that's what I do.
Right.
Eso es lo que hago yo. I have a taco. I don't have cereal. I don't have, I have a taco for breakfast.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was another one of those times where the world got a little clearer, a little more open for me.
Right.
And gave me the idea that maybe I could do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do that. And that's the last reason that I come down here and talk to a lot of kids, because I tell them, look, I'm here. I'm from Elsa.
Yeah.
I lived a fucked up life to begin with as a migrant farm worker, and I put myself through school, and I went out there, and I, by the grace of God and with the help of a lot of people, I achieved some really pretty remarkable dreams.
Right.
But that means you can do it too.
Right.
Because it's already been done.
Yeah, you
I
make
already
it see
proved
that
that it could do it.
You make it see that it is possible.
That's
it can
exactly
happen.
right.
Exactly.
And you feel that motivation.
And then I tell them, don't build walls in front of yourself. Don't give yourself excuses. There's going to be plenty of people that are going to build walls in front of you.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that.
Right.
There'll be plenty of struggle, right?
Yeah.
So love yourself, be kind to yourself, and then dedicate yourself to whatever it is you need to do. And it doesn't need to be acting or painting or whatever. It's whatever you want to do. You want to be a mechanic, you dedicate yourself to that. You become a great mechanic. You make a great life. It's beautiful.
And the funny thing that you say that, I mean, coming to being in the Hollywood phase and California phase of the entertainment business, we've talked to a lot of people that we had on the show that have been through the Hollywood or the entertainment business, and they say that being in the business, you have to have that thick skin.
Actually, I was thinking very much the entire time he was talking. I was thinking about. Remember, we had those. We had a bunch of creative guys who did a movie here in the valley.
Yes, yes.
That's premiering on Amazon.
Oh yeah, they're on Amazon. Yeah, big shout out to those guys, man. Great. It's called, the name of the movie is called Find Me.
Mr. Valdemar Garcia.
Yes,
I know those,
yes.
I know Brooklyn is in that. Brooklyn Dillard's in that. I know Matthew that's in that.
Yes.
I know several other. I know Brenda who is in that. Yeah, I just did a movie with a couple of those people, or not a couple, but a whole bunch of those people, and probably a lot of the crew of that movie as well.
Okay.
Awesome. In Brownsville in December. We shot a short called
There you go.
Yeah, it went well. It went well.
Can't wait to hear about
Noah
that.
Salinas, my best memories with my brothers was watching George Lopez late at night.
And that
You can't miss it late at night.
No,
That's
you
right.
wake up out of nowhere, it's on
You
TV.
just wait for the cowbell.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh,
Yeah.
Lopez is on.
Yeah, I mean,
And we cannot excuse the other comment here. It says, "Mom's watching, dude." She says, "Sons, is that a hint about the, about the
I don't-
Frito pie?"
I
I don't drop hints, Mom.
I
want Frito pie.
Where's my man?
There's no hinting here at all.
Mom's on there. You refuse to see Mom on the screen. I don't see Mom on the screen. Ooh, Mom, bigger bowl for me, Mom. Bigger bowl for me.
Daddy hungry.
Oh my gosh. So I mean, and yeah, the stories like that. I mean, we've heard about having the thick skin in the entertainment business. When you had your time in there already and you've been through that, do you still put up that thick skin when you go for an audition or go
It's
for?
a little different for me now, only because, I've been there 30, 37, 38 years, and 30, 36 of those years I've been a member of the union. And I have a significant amount of work, and so I'm making money off residuals, and we were syndicated as well, and that sort of stuff. And after all of these years, I've kind of figured out a system for myself. It used to be you auditioned live. You don't do that anymore. Now you tape it and then you send it in over the internet. So that's changed a bit. But I fail probably 90% of the time. Maybe I get 10 auditions and maybe I get one, right? And so understanding that, it's more about if you don't like to audition, you might not want to be an actor, right?
Right.
Because auditioning might be the only acting you get to do.
Exactly.
You might never get that job, right?
Exactly.
And so you have to take advantage of the audition. And so instead of going, damn it, I didn't get that one, I go, great. That means I can audition for something else.
Exactly.
Because once you get a job, then you're tied to that job.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And so I try to always look on the bright side. My glass is always half full. Always,
Yes,
always, always.
yes.
I'm already here. I'm in the game. And then the other thing that I tell actors is, look, you need to give yourself credit for the things you've done. Because it's awfully hard. Even if you only get one job, one commercial, or one maybe extra part or something like that. It's a really hard thing to dedicate yourself to.
Right.
So getting one job is you should be proud of yourself and reward yourself for the small little victories, because when you create. Again, a musician, an actor, a writer, a painter, it's important to think of yourself as that and have faith in yourself.
Right.
You don't have to think I'm the best in the world, I'm Van Gogh and I'm going to paint. No. What you do have to think, though, is I have something to say and this is the way I'm going to say it. This is my form. I'm going to make it a painting. I'm going to put it in a song. I'm going to put it in a book, right? And then give yourself to that. Whatever that requires, because people have different ways of doing different techniques, different ways they do it.
Right.
So give yourself to that, but have faith in yourself. Not everything you're going to create is going to be great, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's what trial and error is all.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not always going to be somebody's cup of tea.
No, at all. También. It could be the greatest thing in the world, and somebody's going to hate it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No,
But that's okay because, and I tell the other thing I tell young people, look, it's not your job to criticize your work. What your job is, you reach in your heart, you tear your chest open, you reach inside, you take your heart out, and you show it to the world. That's your job. What they do with it, whether they take it and then they put it up here and they cherish it, or they knock it to the ground and step on it, that doesn't matter.
Dude,
You've delivered your message.
He's gonna make me run through a wall right now, dude.
Oh yeah!
I viene Kool-Aid por la box.
Make me run through a wall.
I can jump out this window and that's my 2 feet.
All right, can you do that again, but with more emotion?
Chris Morin says, "Now I want Peter Pie."
Get in line, Chris.
Get a line.
Get a long line. Suck behind me.
But you do have to, because you know what? It is hard, man. It's hard. And you see all these stories of actors or musicians or other artists who've committed suicide, who turn to alcohol, who turn to drugs, who are depression, who have anxiety and all this other kind of stuff. It's hard to live in your brain. It's already hard enough. And then you bring in this new thing, you know, your phone, your social media, all of that world.
Right,
And that's just a whole nother
different ballgame. Yeah.
That's a million extra voices in your head.
That's a whole nother toxica right there.
And then you start reading what they say. You know, you're in a movie or something, and somebody thinks you suck or whatever, and there's 700 comments.
Yeah.
Of, you suck. I hate your eyes. I hate your knees. What the fuck? What my knees ever do to you? I hate your knees. Bitch.
I know shit. I swear. Oh my God.
Yeah, but that is crazy when you do it. I've heard of that too. That I personally can't understand how people can let so many outside voices in. But I mean, if you open yourself up to the world as much as you say you do, I can kind of understand why that could affect someone.
You're gonna get the reaction. I mean, like you said, you tear your heart open, put it show to everybody. It's gonna go both ways. It's gonna get praised or get stepped on.
Yeah.
And you just got to be prepared to take that. I mean,
you have to have the courage, brother.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I tell kids. Look, mira, at 18, it turns into your life.
Yeah.
You become an adult. You become legal. Not for everything, but for most things.
Right.
Yeah.
And it becomes if you move to California, then you're legal for everything. Don't worry about it.
Across the board. Yeah.
That's right. But it's your life, and you need to have the courage to say to yourself, this is what I want, and this is how hard I'm going to work. Because sometimes people will, and with the best intentions, they're not trying to bring you down. They're trying to protect you. De veras, mijo, that's a hard life, mijo. I don't know, maybe you should, do this as a backup plan. Maybe you should do this as a backup plan.
We've always talked about that.
Always out of love.
Yes.
Not wishing you bad.
Yeah.
Right.
But they don't understand that, I want this badly, and I want to dedicate my life to it.
Right.
And then there are the other assholes that are just trying to bring you down.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah,
never
exactly.
make it. You'll be back in 3 months,
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have to prepare yourself for that, and I think as long as you're dedicated and you really, really love what you want to do, because it will take your life. It'll take your life. It'll take your whole life. It's a beautiful life, but, so just make sure it's really what you want to do.
Yeah. So, any more comments here? We got one here.
Crystal says, "Preach."
You
Chris,
just went to church.
That's right.
You just went to church.
I want to walk into ongoing traffic right now.
That's right.
Nobody
We're
can
going to be
fucking
passing
touch
the
me.
donation jar in a little bit. Put some money in there, Crystal. Put some money in there, Crystal.
Send the fire truck. I can take it on. Bring it. Wow. No, and that's the thing. I've seen Mr. Rodriguez go up on stage and do his class, and the way he talks, I mean, it's like things are possible. Never think that it's not.
Sure.
Because you you are your own critic, pretty much.
You are, and you as a human being are at the very, very top of the chain, and we are in terms of intelligence, in terms of computers that we can carry around in our pocket, in terms of our technology, in terms of where we are. We're at the apex of everything right now. It's the best it's ever been here. And in the United States, even better in terms of opportunity, in terms of job, in terms of the place you want to go, in terms of wages getting even between men and women and doing the same kind of work. And then as well, now you don't have to go to Hollywood anymore because of this.
Yep. Yeah, no, you're right.
What you guys are doing here? We're in West Loco. We're on the 3rd floor.
Yeah,
of a historic building in West
that's
Loco.
right.
We're doing it. Change the world right from here.
Let's go. So when are you going back?
Well, I'll probably be back next month, and then for sure in September for the show.
Guys, we're booked for next month, September.
That's right.
Chris
As a matter
Morin
of fact,
says,
we're having a barbecue.
I'm down. Chris Morin says, let's not walk into anything, please. All are loved and appreciated and deserve a spot in this world. I was just playing, dude.
Where wasn't?
Crystal, cálmate.
Crystal,
We're just kidding.
I mean, if you would have kept on talking, I would have ran. I would have walked in, dude.
I'm done.
I'll give you $5 to do it right now.
right now, right?
Only if he says,
I'll
he
give
said
you
all these
$5
great
to
things.
watch you run into a parked car. Let's see what happens.
Let's go.
$5.
Hold on to this mic.
Hold my beer. Hold my beer. Hold my beer.
All great stories start with "Hold my beer." Let's dive in to your younger self.
Monday.
What were the favorite hangouts from back in the day?
Oh my God.
What? Where
There were
were
no
the
pizza
hangouts?
hangouts. We were in Elsa.
Elsa.
You know what it was? The HEB parking lot.
I
The
knew
HEB
it.
parking lot.
I knew it.
That and Los Canales. There was a canal over there, Delta Lake.
Oh,
Delta Lake.
my
Dude, were
goodness.
do you guys remember when they shut it down? When they
Yes.
shut Delta Lake down?
Yes, yes.
Because it used to be beautiful. It's
Yeah.
still kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
Pero the park and then the pavilion and they had music and everything. And then one time some girl went in the water and the amoeba, apparently, this is the story I heard.
Yeah.
The amoeba crawled up her nose and then she died.
Yeah, yeah.
That day, I was there.
Vámonos.
I was in that water.
Oh.
See?
you turned out fine.
You turned out fine.
The amoeba came out of my head and was shot into hers.
Chale,
No, bro. So it does pay to be pendejo. The amoebas don't want you.
I didn't feel a thing.
No manches.
Bro, I drink Donna water. I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, does Donna have a lake?
Yes, yeah.
Where?
Well, I wouldn't say
Let's
that.
not touch that with a 10-foot
I keep hearing about the Donna Lake.
You don't want to go.
It looks like water.
It moves like
Like water.
No, it doesn't.
It's not water.
No, I love my city, Donna, but yeah, that's not a place we would like to take any of our tourists to.
Not even a meat.
Crystal Morin says Quez needs a padded room.
There you go, buddy. You got
Why? Just because he wants to run into a parked car?
That's right.
Bro. Those words hit me, dude. Those words hit me. Those are good words. What he said, man.
so the hangouts
Right.
was the
It was Delta Lake. It was Delta Lake, and I joke about the canales, but no, we used to go fishing in the canales. We used to take our bikes and stuff like that.
Yeah, people
At
still
the
fish in the canal.
Teníamos Dairy Queen. We had one when I was a kid. We had Dairy Queen. That was all I remember we had, and then Pizza Hut came in a little bit later. But that was it. We were rancho. There were population probably about 4,000 when I was there. It's
Pizza
still
Hut.
only like
Pizza
5,000.
Hut with the Pac-Man table.
Hey. Teníamos an economy in the corner, and that's where it had
oh my gosh.
Y ahí tenía el Med Dog 2020 también. Because they were flat.
And we're talking
were
what
flat.
age is this? Do you want to put this on audio? What age was this?
Hey, dude.
21.
19.
Yeah.
And,
But there wasn't a lot of other places to hang out. You know, you were
and,
pretty much small town.
and what do you think of the valley now?
Yeah, now
Oh
that
my
you've come
God.
back through the years,
Okay, the
how
first
it's-
thing is, how does it take 20 fucking years to fix that road over there in Far?
Oh, they're still working on it. They're still working on it.
Who the fuck is working on it?
Thank you. Someone said it.
Dude,
RGV, if you're watching this,
give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 fucking weeks. I'll go to Home Depot. Get the fucking gravel. Let's go. Close your eyes and we'll finish the fucking road in 2 weeks, carnal. Why does it take 10 years? One pinch lane and nobody's ever working. Nobody's ever there.
You see the machines.
Yes, but
The
no one's
machine
there.
works,
Nobody's
but-
there. It's always one guy in the machine and 5 spectators. They're on break. Oh my God.
There's only one road in the valley.
That's only one road.
What genius thought that up?
Chris, what he said, the accuracy.
That's accuracy right there.
What the hell?
Mom just said, did you ever buy groceries at Casares grocery store?
Yes. Casares was right on the corner. Casares is 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks from my house.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah. I was friends with some of the Casares as well. I was friends with Cain Casares. He was about 2 years older than I am. He graduated just ahead of me. Yeah.
Nice.
Now you watch Mom jump on her. Well, they're related to us. Oh my God, here we go. It's out. Mom, stop.
We were famous for a while because we had one of the drive-ins. We used to have a drive-in in Elsa. That's one of the things we had.
And Nelson.
Yeah, carload night. No, hombre, forget it, brother.
Yeah.
You pack the car, te llevas el barbecue pit, todo el jale. Sí. You park it backwards like that. Sacas el colchón de la trunk y vámonos. Right there.
Sounds like a drive-in night.
Now there's only the West Mirror, I
This
think,
is the only one
the
that's
West
supposedly. The idea was that they were supposed to build another one in McAllen. They were going to build one in town, but I guess it never started, never happened. The project
I thought it was
crashed.
going to come back when COVID hit. Because you knew you could stay in your car.
Yeah,
you didn't have to
yeah,
make
yeah.
contact.
Well, the Westmore was packed when during
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
They closed the snack stand.
Yeah, they close snacks. You have to
Yeah.
bring your own snacks. So
Bring
you
your
had-
own snacks.
So
That's
maybe
what we did anyway.
Yeah.
we had familias en masks.
We even did this in the Mark II, sneaking your food.
We had familias con mask on, con un barbecue pit. Oh my gosh. Speaking of fun and funnier, good old times, you have a show coming up
Yes.
Thursday.
Thursday night.
Thursday. I'm going to put the Q code right here so you guys
The
can look it up.
University Draft House in McAllen.
Oh.
It's on 83 and Colonel Row on
Yes,
2.
okay,
Business
yes.
83 and 2. It's a really nice place on top, but on the bottom there's a basement. It's and he's trying to turn it into a comedy space. This is our 3rd month in a row.
Awesome.
First month we sold out. The second one we came really close. This one the tickets are going as well. I think all of the tables, all the private tables have been sold. There's still some tickets. I think it's $30. $30 with this QR.
Yeah.
It's me, it's Flo, it's Anthony, and then on Thursday night we're having Sonia Trevino is coming. Sonia Trevino is from the Rio Grande Valley. She's
Hey,
really
there you
funny.
go.
Yeah, I've done a show with her. We did a show with her in West Loco. Here in West Loco, actually, at the
That was the ranch house. I believe.
ranch house.
Yes,
Yeah, that
yes,
one,
yes.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
she's gonna join us on Thursday night. So the show starts at 7. So come on by if you want to catch a show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
I like the name
It's
of the
badass.
name of the guy. It says Gway Funny.
The Way Funny Show.
Gway
yeah.
Funny.
Yeah,
Not the
yeah.
Way Funny. The Gway
Way
Funny.
Funny. Yeah.
Christina Marie said they keep paying for car washes and storage units. We're never going to get a drive-in.
Oh, that's true, man. There's so many car washes here in the RG. It's not even fun. It's just
Don't
so
forget
messed up.
Crystal has so much to say.
Crystal, you want to be on the show, Crystal?
You need to stop doing cocaine before the show. It's making you crazy.
No.
Oh my gosh.
But
Nothing
no.
but
That's our audience. That's our audience.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Why is the door moving? They said free bags.
We want them to watch.
Oh my gosh, man. 58 minutes into the podcast, guys. Golly.
Wow.
Time goes fast when you're having
We'll do it
fun.
again. We'll do it again.
We love you back. We love to have you back.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Well,
For
for
sure,
real, come
September,
back.
'cause we're doing
For real,
September.
no, for real,
Yeah,
come
I
back.
mean, the next time you come back, if you want to bring, we have any comments, you want to bring one of the comedians
Oh,
with
that'd
you,
be cool.
and you don't have them here, so
Well,
we can
you know
just
what?
talk.
In September, let's see who comes to September, and I'll bring them over también, maybe.
Nice.
Fantastic.
We
Sounds
had
like a plan.
Lou Diamond
Fantastic.
Phillips.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I actually got to.
You talked to him a little bit.
Yes,
right?
I talked to him a little bit. It was surreal, man.
Yeah.
I was like,
I got jealous.
and everybody was telling me, "Did you do it? Did you do it?" I go, "Do what, Richie? Why am I gonna do that for, man? I'm not gonna do that.
No.
I'm not gonna do that." But
I
it
would
was
have done it.
it was so cool because I started telling him about a story. My cousin is from
Right.
Corpus Christi, Cal
Right.
Island, and I know that he grew up in Florida, graduated from there. And I started telling the story about they had gone to the movies. My cousin was there, and they were sitting down watching. When he got up, he started fooling around and says, "Hey, I'm going to be on that screen one of these days." And when I told him that, he just looked at me like ghosts of Christmas past.
Right.
He's like, holy moly, how do you know that story? I go, my cousin told me. I just want to confirm if it's true.
Right.
And sure enough, he goes, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
How crazy is that?
This was back in 82, 83.
40 years ago.
When I said this, I go, yeah. And right there, he goes, you know what? Bring me a beer. Like, oh my God, he's giving me a beer. And I go, yes, I'm drinking a beer. But he hasn't called me back. But anyways,
Así es. He gets what he wants. You have to dejar, hombre.
I feel so used to it.
And you love it.
And I love it.
Use me again.
Oh my God, so Rodriguez, I appreciate you coming out here with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
This
Thank
was
you for
so
having me
much
on.
fun.
Oh, real quick, do you have any social media?
Social medias that people can
So,
follow you.
Valenteez, VALENTEEZ. That's my Instagram.
Valente.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
That's the best one to do because the other one, and Valente Rodriguez with the blue check mark, that's not me. It used to be me, but somebody hijacked my shit.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Really?
So
Yeah.
all of the blue check marks, Valente Rodriguez, they used to be me, but now it's some Vietnamese guy, Van Trang, whatever.
Wow.
They somehow they got my shit, and then you send me a thing going, $300, and I'll send it back to you.
Oh,
Like,
my
fuck
God.
that.
What a scumbag.
No, hell no.
Wow.
It's all right.
that's messed
Karma
up.
will bite his ass.
It's
Well,
okay.
obviously.
So
Give it back.
Yeah.
Give it back. Another Quilo? You'll let me know.
They got crocodiles in Vietnam. Crocodiles gonna bite his ass. Watch out. That's how it happens.
Wait, I can't wait to see that one. Valente Rodriguez got eaten by
So if I hit the back in September, how'd it go? Guess what? That guy I said about the alligators got his ass beat. Holy moly.
Okay, so
Oh my
Instagram.
God.
All right.
All right, Instagram.
Yeah.
Stay away from the Instagram, guys. You know now not to follow them there with the blue check mark.
Don't follow the blue check mark.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to reach out to them through. I reached out to you through Messenger on Facebook, and I was very.
And you can find me on
fortunate.
Facebook.
Yeah.
It's just my head with glasses on a bubble bath. That's
Yes, yeah.
That's my
That's the
page.
one.
That's the one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I can't friend everybody.
Yeah.
I'm almost full of friends. I think like 3,000 algo así. Pero if you want to follow, and that's why I'm saying Instagram, because Instagram is easier just to follow and then
Right.
And
Yeah,
they can find information about shows and pictures even on there. Okay, excellent.
Last but not least, I
Yes,
want to
sir.
ask you one more question. When it's all said and done, everything's in a book. You're up in the gates of heaven. What do you want to be remembered by?
I want to be remembered by the influence that I made on people's lives. I want to be a footnote in everybody else's life. I don't want their story to be, and then one day I met Valente Rodriguez and that was the best day of my life. No. I want my name to be a footnote in their big story. I want them to say, I met this guy and he was really cool and he helped me along. That's all I need. That's all I need to be able to actually make a difference in somebody else's life and contribute to the world in a good way. I want to be a good dad. I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good and kind individual to the world because this might be heaven, guys. This might be it. We don't know where we're going. When we die, we don't know.
Right.
We got to make this place the best we can. And the easiest way to do that is to be loving and kind to each other and look at the world with kindness and with love. And it'll make the world better.
Yeah, good
Make the world a better place.
Good answer. I like that.
No, no, que
I
no.
like that. Still one throw.
Oh yeah.
We're running into walls.
You're an inspiration, sir.
I'm going to be the rock. Hombre, brother, let's go run through a wall.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much.
Thank you guys
man.
for having me here. Thank you.
I
Thank you for
appreciate you
coming.
taking
You know,
the
that
time
wasn't a
out.
while.
Taking time out, coming up here with us, man, having a little fun with us. And none of that, I'm going to say blessing the studio for us
Yes.
finally getting blessed. in
Oh, and
here.
it's beautiful también. I love the stuff you have on the
Thank you
walls.
so much.
You need more velvet también. And some
See?
blue lights.
You see? No,
Necesitas
why don't you
velvet
listen to
and
me?
necesitas blue lights, pero that's okay.
You know we're not
We
going
need backlights.
we're not going to hear the end of it from Roe. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Martha Stewart.
I know.
Martha Stewart. A.K. Roe for the B-Boy Bro Show. We're not going to hear the end of it. But I told you.
Told you.
Velvet everywhere.
You need Elvis. You need both of those guys.
Dogs playing poker everywhere.
Oh my God.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. I hope to see you back again very soon and continue doing what you're doing. You are a blessing to the RGV and bringing all that knowledge down here is helping us out down here.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you
And
for
you're
having me. And you're funny as hell.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the podcast for this evening. Great podcast, man.
Fantastic.
Great podcast. It was awesome having him on a podcast, man. It's a blessing to have people like Mr. Rodriguez to be on the podcast with us. I mean, it's very rare to have.
So what are you gonna pay me my money or what? Are you just
Damn it,
talking?
Michael,
Trying
wait
to
until the show's over, man.
I want to know.
We're paying you in tacos. Oh, yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, that is our podcast for the night. We will see you Thursday. It's going to be another good one, bro.
Another good one.
Another good one.
Who's coming Thursday?
Mr. Cuellar coming in from
nice.
Mr. Chops. It's a barbecue place here in Westaco. I tried my best, guys. I tried my best to do the podcast there, but he said no.
But he's bringing samples.
But I
Right?
hope he brings something.
Okay. That's all that matters.
Ooh, it's gonna be a good podcast.
Oh, right here.
Hang in there.
Right here, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt here.
You're gonna fast all morning, Carnal, just to make space
Is
in
your
your
mic
stomach.
still on?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the podcast. We will see you next week. This Thursday, 7:30. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Latest Gators!